My name is Monica Zimmerman, and my question to you is, how do you show up as a servant leader? Think about it. How do you show up as a servant leader? We're going to talk for the next few minutes about what servant leadership is and what the subtext is in terms of ranking and linking, the two paths of effective leadership. Two, I tell you. Oh, a little about me. I started this over 25 years ago. My first, let's go back, shall we? 1997. I was appointed manager of a health and body care department, which held 9 women. Let me repeat that. 9 strong-willed, intelligent, passionate, opinionated in a good way. They had great ideas and they were not afraid to tell me. I led that department with ranking and linking and under the precepts of servant leadership, which I didn't realize until after the fact, a couple of years later, actually. So leading that group of women was amazing, hard, difficult, and yet I came out alive, as it were. It's like herding cats in the rain. Have you ever tried to herd cats in the rain or gather your cats or kittens around when it's raining? That's what it felt like. Ranking and linking, the effective path to leadership. Okay. Servant leadership, ranking and linking. Let's talk about the overlap that we have. Servant leadership, we have decisive decision makers, high-level emotional intelligence, empathy, community awareness of the organization and who they serve, foresight, seeing to the future, innovation, making it happen. And the 6th one is taking full responsibility of the company, organization, and your family, and your parent. It just easily transfers over to parenthood. How can you do all those things? Well, you have to be A, willing, and B, it's an inside job. It's not external. This is all internal work. If you want to be a great leader, starting 2021, this year, you have to do the personal development work that is needed as a leader. I can't do it for you. Your colleagues can't do it for you. Your spouse can't do it for you. You have to make the decision. A, this is what I'm going to do. I'm either seek assistance, a consultant, or do my own workshops and paths, but I need to become a better leader, because what translates a better leadership, more effective leadership, servant leadership, ranking and linking, you can scale and grow your company. You have a happier time with the employees. Your culture is sustainable because you've created these platforms and these missions and the vision that you have for your company, and you've implemented them in your culture, in your protocols, in your systems, and your behaviors. We can talk about that another time, but right now we're going to talk about ranking and linking. Let's just get to it. What's ranking? Ranking is the 5 things here. Decisive. You're decisive as leader. You make the decision, you stick to it. You don't waffle or vacillate. You're very clear in the decisions that you're making for your company, your group, and your family. Clear communication. You're clear. You say it in a clean way. There's no emotion behind it. Please finish this project next week. This one has to be due in 2 months, whatever. Or I ask you to do this. Why did this not happen? Just clear communication. We're not doing the old command controls that has been done for the last century, actually, and beyond and farther back, where I know everything, ego-driven, you do what I say or you're fired. There's no in between. Very little empathy. It's command and control. Doesn't work now. So that's why we're talking about ranking and linking and servant leadership, because it's time. It's the time we need to implement this. Okay. Integral. Integrity is your friend. It'll never betray you. Your integrity is always there. Just tap into it. It's an internal knowing. If you're getting a no internally, it's probably not a good decision. Your integrity is driving that as well. So you manage your energy. What does that mean? Well, if you go into a meeting and you're angry, you're upset, what do you do with those emotions? You're having maybe some vulnerable emotions, or you're feeling shame, or undervalued, or whatever it is, whatever those body of emotions or bags of emotions are. You don't have to act on them. You don't have to access them. You can put them here for a moment while you lead your team and address them later. I'm not saying hide your emotions or tuck them in and never address them. Address them when it's an appropriate time outside the office with a coworker who doesn't have any conflict or interest in what you're doing in your own business, in your organization. That's one thing for CEOs. I highly recommend finding someone outside your sphere that you can connect with and tell everything to, share your emotions, share your feelings about what's going on in your company or in your organization. And they have nothing to do with there's no conflict of interest in your organization currently. Good thing for CEOs. Okay. Ownership, responsibility. You take full ownership, much like we talked about servant leadership earlier, the 6 characteristics. You are fully committed to take ownership and responsibility for your company, your staff, your organization, your culture. Your company culture starts with you and ends with you. It's just how it is. It says ranking. Let's look at linking. Okay, linking. A lot of people like to link. I like to link. I don't mind ranking either. So let's sidebars. Highly sensitive people, highly sensitive leaders. We make up the population 1 out of 5 are highly sensitive across the globe. We're born with this trait, which means you are more aware of your circumstances, your environment, other people's emotions. You're tapped into, you have a gene. It's been proven by science that you're born with a certain kind of element in your DNA that enables you to be highly sensitive to your environment, emotions, and things going around you. I find that highly sensitive people, highly sensitive leaders, often like the link versus ranking. People have misconstrued ranking for overbearing, overpowering, misuse of power. That's the old paradigm. So the new one, we're not meanies anymore. We don't have to be. We can do this with kindness and empathy and compassion and still be decisive decision makers and clearly communicate and be integral, manage our energy, and have full ownership, take responsibility for our actions in our company and our environment. Okay, linking. Listen, we want to listen. We want to connect from the heart space. We're connecting from here, not so much here, but from the heart space. Empathy. I'm listening, I'm having feelings, I respond. I see you. Your heart is activated. You're having empathy, you feel empathy for this person. That must have been a hard decision to make. Bum, 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 bum. I can't even imagine making that sort of choice. Bum, 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 bum. So empathy, when you're talking to someone, showing empathy and listening. Eye contact. Now, if you're on Zoom, you have the screen. So how do you do that when you're Zoom? Just stay present in front. It's hard. There is such a thing as Zoom fatigue. Take a break during the day. If it's too much, you step out, get some fresh air. Okay, I'm going to digress for a minute. 2 things as a leader needs clear boundaries and self-care. As a CEO, in ranking and linking, you need to have clear boundaries and self-care. What does that mean? You say what's clear and what needs to be said. Honestly, honest feedback, compassionate criticism, if you want to call it that, or just kind criticism, or whatever is happening in front of you that you need to address, you need to address it. Second of all, if you're getting overwhelmed, you're feeling some anxiety, or you just need to take a break. Go outside, walk around. Don't take your phone with you. Leave your social media and your digital devices and your computer and your watch that you can do all kinds of emails on, your Apple Watch, your smartwatch, as it were. Take those off. Leave them in the office and walk outside, just you and nature. Take some breaths. 5 minutes, that's it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you cannot take 10 minutes out of your day to walk around the building, to get outside, to get away from people, and you feel like your business is going to collapse because you've taken 10 minutes off from the day, you need to rethink your business. Because as a CEO and a leader, and the thought and decision maker. You have to do some self-care. You're the talent. Okay. Oh, let's go back to this, linking. Shares experience. So I'm going to share my experience with you. Oh, I remember a time when this happened to me, or this happened in my life. This was tough when I lost my mom 5 years ago. And I was the only one in the family because I'm an only child. My father had passed 20 years prior to take care of all of her funeral and her burial needs. That was a big burden. I did it, and I could share something with someone who has a similar situation as that. Be present. Be in your body. Take a deep breath. You want to be in your body. Be present. You're not thinking about that conversation you had last week with the wait staff at your favorite diner with the mask on because we're still in COVID, or your conversation with your brother-in-law you had last week, or you have to take your car in to get new tires. Stay present in the moment. They will appreciate that, and it helps them open up. Another thing too, sharing experiences. Sometimes as a leader, if you go first, if you share first, it opens the door for them to be more honest and vulnerable with you when you're linking. So linking and ranking, two different ways. Subtext of servant leadership. You're there to serve. Are you there to be someone's doormat? You can be decisive and clear in your communications. You manage your energy and you have ownership. Ranking and linking, these are both two empowering positions to take as a leader. And the two effective ways to change your life, to change your business, and to change the world. Yeah, I said change the world with linking and ranking. You do it every day. You're either linking or you're ranking. Right now, you and I are linking. I'm sharing information. I'm sharing a bit of myself. I'm present with you. I'm making eye contact. I'm doing most of the 5 here. I have to be able to rank as well. If I'm ranking right now, I say, please leave a comment down below, and we'll answer your Q&As after this this little chat we're having. Or I can say, go buy a book. But that's a ranking move. You don't have to buy the book. I wrote this in 2020. If I wasn't able to rank, I wouldn't be able to finish my book, to have it completed, to work with the publisher, to work with the editor. There was some conflict there. I had to move through it, be decisive, take full ownership of my part in the role of author, client. So I outsourced. So you have to take full responsibility of your part of it, no matter what it is. Sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it's amazing. Doesn't matter. That's the swinging door of a CEO and a leader. What if you're not a CEO? What if you're middle management? That's a tough position to be in, because oftentimes middle management, they want you to have all the duties and the chores and no power to implement any sort of changes. It's kind of you're in the middle of the road. It's perceived power that you really don't have. That's my experience of working with middle management and being middle management as through my past and my careers. You can still lead effectively no matter where you are in the company. Lead by example. Stick with the 5 things here in terms of ranking and linking. I've ranked my bosses at the time years ago. They didn't even know it. They didn't even know it was happening, because I was just clear. I was just doing through these steps: manage my energy, being clear, be decisive. When I had a conversation with them, I was ranking. I was in charge of it. I was empowered to say what I needed to say and get my point across. I also can link, listen, empathetic, eye contact, the 5 things here. So you're either linking or you're ranking with someone. Next time you're at a grocery store, pay attention to see, am I linking now or am I ranking? And see if you can determine the difference and differentiate when I'm linking, when I'm ranking. You want to change the world? Change your leadership style. How are you going to do that? Do the internal work. Internal development is the key. Reading a book is one thing. Implement what you read actively with your staff, with your coworkers, with your family is another. The key to change. My big idea, my big dream, change the world one leader at a time. Ranking and linking. 2 effective paths to leadership. Servant leadership. The way to go. I thank you for your time. I leave this with you today. I'm going to rank you right now. 2 things today. Write down 2 ways you can rank your teams. 2 different scenarios. That's my assignment for you, if you choose to take it. 2 different ways you can rank your teams today. Been a pleasure. My name is Monica Zimmerman. I'll see you next time. Take care.